The Tennessee Titans will be on the clock in a little over a month and a half. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we are bringing you another 3-round mock draft for the Tennessee Titans. Before we get into it, be sure to hit that subscribe button, tackle that bell, and leave a like and a comment. Let us know what you want to see the Titans do come April. Ryan, let's pull up our slide here. So we're going to
Let's
have
do it.
the a couple of the picks after the Titans' first overall pick, and then the one potential option as well for their first round pick. And it's pretty self explanatory. It's, do the Titans want to take a quarterback here and move on from Will Levis, which I think they would like to do, or do they still want to go with maybe best player available in the draft? I think we all can agree that Cam Ward or Shador Sanders are not the best players in the draft overall. You can make an argument they're not better than the other four names that we see on the board here that go after them. And you can include maybe even
Yeah.
Ashton Genty in that list and maybe even Armand Mambu. But that's just the real big question is, how are they going to get another quarterback? They still haven't really addressed it overall. They have signed Brandon Allen. But now with Geno Smith traded, Sam Darnold is in Seattle. Aaron Rodgers is still available. Russell Wilson is still available as of this recording as well. Even Justin Fields is not available, as he has signed a nice contract. I think all things considering, when you look at Justin Fields' career with the New York Jets. So it's really dwindled down to a couple of options. And the more and more you think about it, I feel like they are not going to roll. They're going to do everything they can to not roll it back with Will Levis. And Ryan, my last
Oh,
comment before
yeah.
I throw it over to you: we did select Cam Ward, but I can see some of the concerns around Cam Ward that people have commented on our videos. That Cam Ward is kind of maybe similar to Will Levis.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a much higher ceiling there with Cam Ward. I think you look at his progression just throughout his college career, and you see steady improvement each and every season, just in his footwork, his accuracy. I also think too, Cam Ward is a bit of an older prospect, but he's only had a quarterbacks coach while he was at Washington State and at Miami,
Hmm.
and so he's really only been getting high level coaching the last couple of seasons, and I think you've really kind of started to see his play improve. Whereas I think Will Levis, he had a really good year and then a bad year, and kind of plateaued maybe a little bit coming out of college. And so he was still riding some of that hype. But with that being said, I do see there are some concerns. Cam Ward, I will say, I think has more clubs in the bag, so to speak, where I felt like Will Levis, like he had a driver and that was about it. And so maybe I'm scouting in hindsight, but we'll have to see kind of as we go. But I do think you just kind of look at some of the moves that the Titans made in free agency. You go look, they paid Dan Moore, JC Latham kicks back over to the right tackle where he was more comfortable. They go sign Kevin Zietler as well. And now that front line looks pretty solid. Did they overpay for Dan Moore? Yeah, but I think if that puts everybody in a more comfortable spot going forward, I think that might be worth it. And so I feel like offensively they've made a lot of moves, I think, to really kind of prepare themselves for life with a rookie quarterback. And so I think Cam Ward is probably the pick here. The other one that I could really see would be Abdul Carter. They let Harold Landry. Actually, they released Harold Landry. I could see them maybe going with an edge rusher. Maybe getting Travis Hunter makes sense. He could play primarily receiver. But I think you look like Roger McCreary, Chidobe Awuzie. Got L'Jarius Sneed this past season. Like, they don't really need secondary nearly as much as they would an edge rusher. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to kind of see where the Titans go. But yeah, I think for now, Cam Ward is the pick. Next up here, I think for the second overall pick, you look. This is where I feel like they do add that dynamic wide receiver weapon here with Luther Burden. He falls all the way down here to 35. His 2024 season was just not nearly as good as people had hoped. With that being said, Missouri's offense dropped off as a whole, but I think he slots right in. He can be a more explosive form of who's Xavier Restrepo for that Cam Ward had there for Miami. And so I do think that that's a good fit, really good value there that they get there at pick 35.
Yeah, I think receiver is a very good option here, as now where we're doing some more of these mock drafts, and this is about where that second wave of receivers really start to come off. There's going to be a lot of second round receivers, as well as you can even see like Jaden Higgins is who we included there, but even right after Jaden Higgins, and I could see technically get maybe guys being like being taken early here, but like Jack Bash, Savion Williams as well, Jalen Royals, Ty Felton. And so
Mhm.
that might be a little high for some of those guys, but still, I think this is where that second round, I think the Titans are going to address that receiver spot because to your point, they've already really addressed that offensive line. There's still a lot of good pieces on that defensive line side of the ball as well. And I think that they can add some depth when it comes to day three because they only have 2 picks in the top 100. And
Yeah.
I'll come back to that point in a second. But I think Luther Burden falling here. You have Tyler Boyd. He's a free agent as of right now. You slot him in. He's instantly that slot guy, but he's also that fun gadget guy that I think you can do a lot with. And to your point, he can also become that little safety blanket, I think, for your rookie quarterback who you draft in the first round, help him make some easy throws too as well.
Yeah.
So last thing as well too, I talked about this. Another thing they could end up doing here is I could absolutely see them trading back, maybe trying to get a third round pick if they trade back 10 spots and still kind of go and get something similar as well to what you're talking about, like the receiver spot, or you can maybe go and get Jalen Walker, who is still available, or if there's maybe if Demetrius Knight falls a little bit, I don't know, you know, go get some of these other guys that are around too, maybe pick up like a late third and you do a pick swap somewhere. So I think that's a very potential spot here for Tennessee. But with this route though, and as of right now, as of this recording, when we're doing this mock draft, March 13th, and so we're recording this a couple days in advance because we're going to be traveling for personal reasons here next week when this video comes out. But Cam Ward, I think at quarterback, and I think Luther Burden as your receiver in your second round pick. I don't. If you're Tennessee and based off the moves you've made on the offensive line so far, I don't think you're complaining overall, all things considered, given this draft class.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this just isn't a strong draft class. This is a bad draft class to need a quarterback, especially. And so I feel like kind of going forward, it's going to be uh, just best player available for the Tennessee Titans, and then also a lot of the teams up there in the top five of the draft. So, uh, I, if you
Are you
come
saying
out
best
with
player
Cam Ward,
available? Are you saying best player available after the first overall pick?
yeah, yeah, after the first
Okay.
overall
Okay. I see that. Yeah, because if they're
pick,
going BPA overall,
because
that kind of
if they
goes
need
back.
to fill that. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, this is a bad year to need a quarterback. I feel like if they have to go that route, then like Cam Ward is the pick. But if they decide to go best player available, that would be an interesting path forward for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I got you now.
yeah, let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on what you think the Tennessee Titans should do in the 2025 NFL draft. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.